Hello, Princess, and welcome to my park. Yeah, I know, welcome. We've been here, I don't know how many times, way many times, and we've been here, I don't know how many times, but today is that special day because I am officially as old as Walt Disney World, and there is no better place to spend this day, on this very windy day than here at Magic Kingdom, the original park at Walt Disney World. A lot of people talk about Disneyland and how that was Walt's park, but you know what? I look at it this way. Disneyland may be the park that Walt built, but Magic Kingdom is the park that Walt wanted. And very special that we are almost the same age. I will be here for the actual 50th anniversary in a few months, but today I am here for a different 50th anniversary. Not something to be sad about. It is my 50th anniversary, and well, yeah, no better place to spend it than at my home park, Magic Kingdom. So let me show you some of the things that make this park very special to me. I know maybe I don't come here that often. Maybe I should come here more often, but I don't think a lot of people understand how important places like this are to people and our experiences, and as we grow up. And the fact that I've been coming here for 50 years, at least that's what Grandma tells me, makes it an extra special place that I want to share with you. And Mommy's on board, so it's going to be super fun. Well, let's go see my Magic Kingdom. The Swiss Family Treehouse. The attraction, not very exciting, but the one that inspired, I guess, every little boy's dream, at least my little boy's dream, of living in a treehouse. I remember going through here. It was only a one-ticket ride, or attraction. I remember tickets, yes I do. And what I always thought was this would be so cool to live in. I wish I had a tree like this. I wish I could live up here like this. Wouldn't it be so amazing to be stranded on a desert? Well, it wasn't really a desert island, but stranded on an island. They had everything up there, like a living room, bedrooms, a kitchen, water, everything you would need to live in a tree. Wow. I mean, as a kid coming here, and this is an original attraction, so we're talking, I mean, since I was, whatever, yeah, this was like the coolest thing ever. Something that we actually might be able to do sometime, I don't know, have to talk to Daddy about that, have our own treehouse in the backyard. And it would be inspired by Swiss Family Robinson. A great movie, by the way, so we'll have to watch that sometime. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Now, I remember your great-grandparents, Jack and Lucille, were much more fond of this attraction than I was. I was a kid, and a bird show, even a robot bird show, I guess wasn't that interesting, but I am glad that we did this almost every time, because this is one of those things that you begin to appreciate as you grow older and realize the things that you experienced with family over the years. And even now I like going and visiting the birds for that. It's a fun show, by the way, and it brings back a lot of memories, which I guess are something that when you get to be my age are very, very important. So I'm just going to warn you, yes, we are going to bring you to the Enchanted Tiki Room many, many times, and you probably won't like it, but you will grow to love it. This is the biggest marquee that I never knew existed. All right, not that I never knew it existed, but it's one that I never noticed, or still am surprised when I see it. So I'll watch other videos and they'll talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, and they will show this marquee, and I will immediately think, wait a minute, where is that? I don't know why, but I never remember it. Very, very interesting. But Pirates, not an original attraction, but an original attraction for me, since I don't remember a time when Pirates of the Caribbean wasn't here. It's part of, I guess, the lore of every young boy to be a pirate. And yeah, I always sympathize with them because they look like they were having the most fun. I mean, they get to sail the seas on great sailing ships, plundering and pillaging on their own, free, making their own rules. What young boy wouldn't love that? And, well, that was the story of Pirates of the Caribbean. Splash Mountain opened when I wasn't coming to the parks very often. I was not here for opening day. I was not here any time close to opening day. I did not make an effort to ride it after it opened. It was just kind of there. Probably knew about it, but it's one of those things that even when it opened, wasn't really a big deal. So for me, it's still just Splash Mountain. But Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This was the ride. This was the ride that I always had to go on. This is the ride that we would wait for. This is the ride that would make or break a trip here to Walt Disney World. This ride here is what defined for me what a roller coaster was. Which means that every roller coaster I ride, really every attraction I ride, from then on was judged against Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The theming, the operations, the smoothness, everything was based on Big Thunder, which is why I don't like, I think, a lot of other roller coasters. I don't really like wooden roller coasters. I don't like old roller coasters. I don't like roller coasters with crazy over-the-head restraints. I don't like roller coasters that like confine you to the seat, all because Big Thunder Mountain never did that, and it is still decades later a great attraction. So I don't know what your prime ride is going to be, what your primordial attraction is going to be, but for me it is Big Thunder Mountain. Everything else, yes, this is the standard. I can't believe I walked right by the Jungle Cruise because it's super fun, but another example of an attraction that Great Grandma and Grandpa, Lucille and Jack, liked more than I did. I think it's because it was a slow moving ride. I probably didn't get a lot of the jokes, and the line was always very, very long, or the wait time was always very, very long, so it never really seemed like something worth doing. Even now, and before when they had fast passes, you can almost never get a fast pass, and the standby line is super long, so I don't do it as often as I could or should, because as we get older, like I have, the jokes begin to make sense, and they're pretty funny. So we're gonna experience the Jungle Cruise. I don't know if you'll get it, but like the Tiki Room, which is right there, you will. This is the Frontierland Bypass. Probably the most important addition to Magic Kingdom in my lifetime. Yeah, it's just a walkway. But let me tell you, I remember when I was a kid, we would come here, I guess, with friends or other families and with kids. I don't know, it's a long time ago, a really long time ago. We would, I guess, break from the adults, and actually even in high school. And we would always, without fail, get trapped at Big Thunder Mountain, which is right over there, during the parade. And before the bypass, the only way to get out of that little area was, the main midway, just over to the left. When the parade was coming, that's it. You were blocked. You were trapped. You could not get out of there. You could maybe squeeze through the crowds, but it would take forever. And for whatever reason, it always happened. Either we got trapped over there, or we wanted to go to Big Thunder Mountain, probably from Space Mountain, during the parade, and couldn't do it. Well, then the bypass opened, and, well, that's it. Problems solved. You could just walk freely, mostly. It was a little bit crowded, but you could get from Big Thunder to Space Mountain or the other way around with relative ease. And for that, I have been eternally thankful. In fact, even today, I usually take the bypass for that reason. I don't know why. I guess it's just habit that I've developed. But yes, here it is, a walkway. One of the most significant additions to Magic Kingdom in my lifetime. The Liberty Bell, again, an attraction that I was never particularly fond of. It's a slow-moving boat ride. I remember it. The animatronics are cool, the scenes are cool, but slow-moving boat ride, one of those things, again, you know, great-grandma and grandpa probably liked more than I. But right there is the Haunted Mansion. Great attraction, but there is something a little bit special about that I do remember from when I was a kid. And that's not knowing what a show building was. I remember always wondering how they fit that very large attraction into this very, very small building. You know, I was always wondering, like, is that where the attic scene is? Is that where the ballroom is? How do they do this? I mean, because it feels so much larger inside, but that structure right there is just so small. Well, when, you know, different views became available and you could see, I don't know why I didn't realize this riding the Skyway. I know, ugh. But yeah, there's a giant show building behind us, but I do remember always wondering how they fit that very large attraction and all those very large scenes into this teeny little building. And I don't know, it feels very silly now, but I remember that. Here we are at the Magic Kingdom Narrows. Probably the one thing the original planners wish they could redo, because this always gets packed, crowded, jammed up, because as you, well, I guess can see even in this shot, it's very narrow. The screens right there make it look even narrower, but even when they're not there, it's still, the structure is right about there. And I remember always this place being super crowded, but not just that. For whatever reason, this bit of real estate right here is something that I feel is the most, one of the most familiar places to me in the world. For every place I've gone and everything like that, this right here, I can say maybe I've been to more times than any place else. I mean, except home, of course, but I don't know. Every time I see this, I always think, yeah, I know that place. I've been there so many times. I've spent so much time there. And this little patch of Magic Kingdom right here is probably the most familiar non-home place in the world for me. Go figure. Snow White's Scary Adventures is what I will always remember for this space. Closed a long time ago. Now it's Princess Fairy Tale Hall, where you meet princesses. But I will always remember the dark ride that used to be in this space. A lot of people still miss that. It is mostly at Disneyland, so we will see it soon, but right now it is lost to time here at Magic Kingdom. And there is another one, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Another, not original attraction, a later addition, I think, although I'm not sure. For me, it was an original attraction because I don't remember a time when it wasn't here until it was replaced by Winnie the Pooh, or Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And it was special because between this and Snow White, this is the one that I always wanted to go on. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It wasn't particularly scary, or at least for me it wasn't very scary, but it was just really fun. And I remember this was kind of one of the make or break attractions here at Magic Kingdom. If we didn't get to ride Mr. Toad, and you usually could, then the trip totally wasn't worth it, and our Walt Disney World trip was ruined. Very sad to see it go, but like Snow White, it is still at Disneyland, so we will enjoy it together. Oh, you might have already enjoyed it. That's right, okay. But yeah, we will enjoy it together sooner, hopefully. the Mad Tea Party, which is what the sign says now, but I, for some reason, remember it as the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Don't know if they changed the name, probably should have looked that up before I recorded this. This is another one that I remember riding. I don't think it was ever my favorite, but I, for some reason, think Great Grandpa Jack really liked this ride. And I have memories of us going on together. Don't think Great Grandma Lucille particularly enjoyed it, but well, I think he did. It is very fun, and it is something that I do remember we all had a great time on when we were here for Mickey's Not So Scary. I hope you remember that, because I certainly do. But even more, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which I believe, you'll have to confirm this with Mommy, is her second roller coaster, but probably your most important, because this is, well, a real roller coaster. Yeah, we did Goofy's Barnstormer first, but this is the big one. And I remember it was Mickey's Not So Scary, and you were just tall enough to make it on, like just at the bar. We were walking by, it had been down, and right when we were there, it opened up, which means very, very short wait. So I, of course, noticed this and, you know, got Mommy to get everything ready, sent Daddy to park the stroller. We got into line, and we made it on here. Amazing experience. The reason I'm bringing this up, it's not part of my Magic Kingdom, but it's part of your Magic Kingdom. And in a way that makes it part of my Magic Kingdom, because that experience, your first trip on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, is now one of my core memories. You'll learn what that is later. Yeah, right here. So this is, I guess, our Magic Kingdom now. Oh, Dumbo. This is not the original Dumbo. The original Dumbo sat where the entrance to Beast's Castle is, or thereabouts. And they moved it for construction of Seven Dwarfs and added 2 spinners because it was such a perennially popular attraction. So much so that as much as I enjoyed it, we never rode it because the wait time was always so long and the line moved so slowly. And I do remember always being disappointed in not being able to ride it because the line was so long. Now it's a lot different. You can get a fast pass, and with the 2 spinners, even the standby line is very, very manageable. So it is much more accessible. But I remember wanting to ride this all the time, but the wait being like over an hour for this, and we just never did it. I didn't want to do it because I figured we might as well wait 40 minutes for Big Thunder Mountain. Oh, Tomorrowland Speedway, I don't know what to think of you. I always loved you because I could drive even as a 7-year-old, I think, but always, well, disappointingly slow and hard to control. That is what I remember most about trying to drive on Tomorrowland Speedway. The cars are impossible to drive. So I would think, like, how does this teach anybody anything? You know, they're all over the place. You can't get through the course without banging into the rail. I don't know how many times. And I don't really remember whoever would go with me. I mean, when we were coming here a long time ago, I was too young to ride alone, but I really don't remember who would ride with me. Interesting. Either way, one of the attractions that I would not mind, even though it's one of my originals, seeing changed big time. Merchant of Venus. My fondest, I guess, memory of this shop, and I think I've only shopped there twice, is probably the first time that we were here with Mommy, and it was mid-afternoon, and one of the many birds decided to welcome me to Magic Kingdom with a very special gift. And I decided just to abandon the top I was wearing, and I had to get something new. I think it was cold because I ended up getting a sweatshirt here at Merchant of Venus. It was a red sweatshirt. I don't have it anymore. No, I don't have it anymore, but I remember that event very, very clearly because that's happened to me so many times I can't believe it. Space Mountain. What memories. But first, let's take a look at something really pretty. There she is, Cinderella Castle at sunset with a beautiful contrail of a jetliner flying by. Kind of wish I was on, not really, because, well, yeah, I'm here and this is where I want to be, but reminds me of what's to come. We will be flying soon. This is Space Mountain. This will always be some new building that has been here for probably 30 years, but it's still new to me because this was not original equipment. For me, that is Space Mountain. A very thrilling attraction you have not been on yet, but yeah, we will ride together eventually. The thing about Space Mountain is, I remember when I was maybe a little bit older than you, well, it had to be much older than you because I was old enough to ride, and I was here with, Grandma and other families with older kids, and we would go to ride this, and I remember the older kids had us younger kids convinced that if we raised our hands too high on this ride, that they would get chopped off. And we believed it, because when you ride this, you actually see the structure. It looks very close, and because it's dark, you can't really tell how far away things are. So ever since then, ever since Space Mountain opened, I have been, well, let's just say I never raised my hands. Not even a little bit. They are firmly tucked away, well inside the vehicle, for fear of them being chopped off by the structure of the ride, all because the older kids told us that they would be. Now, don't worry, it's perfectly safe. The bubble is very, very large. It is well outside the reach of any normal person. So, no, me, you, mommy, daddy, no one will have their limbs chopped off by this ride. But for me, I still cannot get over this. Even on the other versions, Disneyland, Hong Kong, I cannot bring myself to reach outside of the vehicle. Memories. That is not my Astro Orbiter. That is some ridiculous French thing that they added, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago now. Disney, bring back our Astro Orbiter with the glorious Saturn V inspired rocket ship and the spaceships circling her in all her immense beauty. Yeah, not this thing. Come on, this is... Oh, come on, no. If you had wings, if you had wings, if you had wings, had wings. Many years before Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin, this was a different attraction. I think it was If You Had Wings, sponsored by Eastern Airlines. And I can probably say that attraction, more than anything else, inspired my love and passion for traveling. I remember riding this with everybody. The whole family loved this ride. And great-grandpa Jack, actually working at the airport, knew a lot of people from Eastern Airlines, probably, made it easy for them to travel, take me traveling. And I remember all of the show scenes from this ride were places that I really, really wanted to go. Seeing them here at Walt Disney World just, really inspired me. One in particular, and that is the falls in Jamaica, which are, and I'm going to look it up right now because I don't remember. I don't think it's Dundee, but it's very close. Hold. Got it close. It is Dunn's River Falls near Montego Bay. And, well, you will never get to experience this, unfortunately, but that was always one of the great goals in my life. One that I have not actually achieved yet due to random circumstances. I know, and it's literally right there. But we will do it eventually. So yes, I can credit this ride, or what was here before, If You Had Wings, with my inspiration to travel, which will always be known as the Wedway People Mover. I don't even remember when it was changed to Tomorrowland Transit Authority, but Wedway People Mover. That is my Magic Kingdom. Always love this ride. Not original, but it is an original attraction for me. One of the things I miss most is the original entrance to Tomorrowland. The fountain walls and the two matching spires, they were just beautiful and gorgeous, and I will always remember and treasure them. Instead, we have these weird purple rocks, but they cannot take away the memory. Some memories are, of course, newer. Here we are at the Main Street ice cream shop, which we would always come to with Mommy. Ever since we were bringing her here when she was a little kid, we would always have to stop here after a day at Magic Kingdom for ice cream. Something we haven't been able to do in a while because it's been closed, but one of those newer Magic Kingdom memories that is part of our Magic Kingdom. And finally, the memories of the most mixed emotions. The walk down Main Street toward the exit, because it's either the end of another magical day here at Magic Kingdom, or I'm in a rush to get out and it's frustrating because I want to bypass the crowds, or it's just a reminder of when I'll be back. Today, that's what it is. I'm leaving Magic Kingdom now for something else that I hope is going to be special. And, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now, I'm just going to slowly stroll down Main Street, USA. And to be clear, I mean slowly stroll for me. The Main Street Railroad Station is still under refurbishment. Probably will be for a while until Tron is sorted out, but hopefully not that long. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of mine down my memory lane here at Magic Kingdom. All of the things that I remember over the last 50 years, because, well, we are the same age now. And a lot of great things to come. You know, Walt has said many times that the parks are not museums. And while we have lost a number of things that I remember very fondly from my childhood, that's okay, because things do always have to be renewed, changed, and there's always going to be something better in the future. And while I remember all these attractions and I'm sad that they're gone, it is just another example of why I am thankful for my problems.